All right, this is Mike Peters again. I was just looking at that other video, and I could tell it just doesn't work to get excited and make these videos. So, looking at that other video, I'll leave that one on there, but I want to let you know, that, of course, the doctor liar, because she lied, that's a big thing. Especially when I have the evidence against her. Okay, we know that Judge Gilbert didn't let me present that evidence and squashed all 47 witnesses I had to make sure that I wasn't going to get any justice out of this whole deal, out of this divorce. They stole the land. Judge Esquire has got his friend of 30 years, going to sell it for half price, and they're all going to live happily ever after. Now, even though Judge Esquire did scratch out the neglect that Dr. Dreyer's lie perpetrated, me and my son still have to go to Access Bill's Children, or I have to pay for it. And I don't know why I would do any of that, force my son to go out there, even if my ex-wife didn't show up, who's had a brain tumor removed from her head and lost her memory. She probably doesn't even know how to get to Conroe. Why I would be putting myself, my son, and through these paces. We know that Judge Gilbert's not going to do anything. He'll simply squash any motion I put before him. So there's no justice for me and my son. But, obviously, if the judge scratches out the neglect in the divorce papers, why would I have to go to ABC anyway? Access Bill's Children. What would be the point in that if all the paperwork, it was all about Dr. Joanne Dreyer's lie? CPS has never been to my house before. Houston Police Department has never been to my house. Montgomery County Sheriff's Department has never been to my house before when me and my wife and my family were together. For the whole 8 years we were together. But we all know that these lies get perpetrated during the court. But now, because Dr. Joanne Dreyer and Matal Brombat, the social worker I was telling you about, these two are tied up in other such cases. These two women decide to get together and they're going to do whatever lie they have to do to make sure fathers are the culprits. Even though CPS didn't believe her lie. Now, I can't believe that they don't even think about it. Wouldn't even let CPS go to court. Wouldn't even let me give the CPS report in court. Wouldn't let me give the sheriff's report in court showing how many times my wife came to the house harassing me and my son. Who was calling him up and telling him to run from the property. Who was calling the sheriff's department and purporting lies. And that all failed. Anyway, none of this evidence was allowed to get there because if Dr. Dreyer's lie were to come out, Texas Children's Hospital, there'd be 100 attorneys in Houston, Texas, and probably around the U.S. wanting to jump in and sue these people with the evidence that I have. They're not beating down the door because the Texas Medical Board refused to do their job because the hospitals get together, you can imagine, and pick their politician and everybody supports them. And they hired Rick Perry. Well, they're pulling in the favors from Rick Perry because Rick Perry's in charge of the Texas Medical Board who believes the doctor. Well, you believe the doctor for what reason? They weren't in the room, and this doctor made up this lie saying I told her I didn't give my son that med, even though all the evidence and CPS and everybody points against her. They simply say she was right on the appeal. Well, on the first bit of paperwork, they said we don't do civil and criminal matters and close the case. That's what the Texas Medical Board did. This is what Rick Perry's doing. Well, we know how Texas justice goes, but my son has cancer, and he is suffering. He can't see his father anymore. He's a 9-year-old boy. He's not going to live as long as other boys. He's got cancer. He doesn't deserve a father. I mean, do the people of Texas and the United States believe that this poor kid doesn't deserve a father? He didn't deserve the land that I risked my life for 3 years in Iraq. Built the house and everything by hand, unlike any other house in the Houston area. No sheetrock. Treated wood, bolted together, strong as it can be. It was built through love, because I wanted to give my son a nice place, and he had it. 5 1/4 acres. He had chickens and rabbits, dogs and cats. He had the big pine trees, the fresh air. I took him out of the trailer his mother had at Tidwell and 45, Lamplighter Mobile Home Park. So just go right back to the trailer. Now she's got no choice. She's illegal here in the United States. Doesn't have a green card after 14 years because she lied on her application, which is why, part of the reason why they're divorced. She's married off a girl who just turned 16. 3 weeks into her 16th year, she signs a paper to have her married. Well, that's inexcusable for me. I raised her since she was 4, and she was taken away from me like that. Because I guess Hispanic people have a different view than American people about such things. I wanted to complete high school, go to college first. I guess that makes me a bad dad. These videos have to continue. There's got to be some hope for Dalton. As long as I'm alive, I'll be making these videos and fighting for justice for Dalton Geoffrey Peters, Geoffrey. We know that Texas Children's Hospital will be sued, and that a blemish the size of Texas will come down on Texas Children's Hospital, Baylor College of Medicine, now the courts and even the medical board. It's gone so big. If this were to come out, the truth that I'm telling you, no one seems interested in seeing all that evidence. Of course, it's pretty much public information. I was passing it out when I picked it at the hospital, calling her a fraud and a liar with a big picture of this doctor. But the telltale signs are that the doctor wouldn't sue me. You know, they scratched out any kind of medical neglect. Didn't stop him from stealing my son and my land. But it did stop Texas Children's Hospital, Baylor College of Medicine from being sued. It did stop people from looking and seeing what's going on behind the scenes of Texas Children's Hospital and Baylor College of Medicine administrations. It's called protection. Through campaigns is the only way I can see it. What is there any other truth about it? I'd like to know, but I think it's all plain and simple what's going on here. If you look at the evidence, it's self-explanatory. Why would the judge cancel? Say there was no neglect. I thought Dr. Dreyer said there was neglect. Oh my God. So at the very end, when I'm not even at that hearing, because I knew it was a bunch of lies, a game, a cover-up, that he scratches through that, this James Douglas Esquire, and but he forgot to stop these ABC things. There's no reason for us to go to Access Builds Children. At any rate, it's not going to happen. I'm not dragging my son through that. Just because these people want to protect liars like Dr. Zoanne Dreyer. I'm going to keep up this campaign because they need to know. You guys need to know in America and around the world what these people are doing. They will throw a kid who's dying of cancer to the wayside, take away his dad at a cancer hospital. And this doctor is supposed to be an oncologist at the Texas Children's Hospital Cancer Center. But kids with cancer are disposable. Fatherly love is disposable. Everything's disposable. How many times have they done this to other children? What medical neglect is possibly going on over there? They have an administration building the same size as the hospital building. And you can't get to those floors. They are protected. Got to be 10,000 miles of evidence of medical neglect in the files over there at Texas Children's Hospital. That's got to be crazy. There's no other reason for it. As long as my son and I are suffering and the truth is being held secret, and these thieves, Judge Tracy Gilbert, Alan Gilbert, Judge Esquire, Douglas Esquire and Hempstead, as long as Dr. Dreyer and the administration, Kimberly Jordan, Matal Brombat, all at the Texas Children's Hospital, all these privacy managers, attorneys that work there have been coming to my every divorce hearing. I'll be here making these videos for the rest of my life until people see the corruption of what you people have done. Make it right. And thank you people in Houston, in the United States, and around the world for listening to this video. There'll be plenty more, and like I said, pretty soon a lot of evidence and a lot more video will be coming out with all of these documents. And you'll see for yourself exactly what I'm saying. I don't want anybody taking my word for it. God bless you.